Alright, what is up YouTube? The name is Second here, bringing you guys yet another car vlog. I know I said I was going to be doing the install video for my new brakes. However, I just haven't been able to yet. Yesterday being Thursday, when I finally got done with school, I was hella tired. I had work just a couple hours later and I just couldn't do it that day. Today being Friday, to be honest, I was going to do it, but then I think I ran into an issue where I might need some extra tools because I might have one of those rotors where there's also a specific screw in there that you need a specific tool to get that screw out of the rotor. So I'm most likely going to be taking it out to my uncle's and, you know, do it there, and at least when I'm up there doing it with my uncle, well, installing the brakes, everything should go perfectly well. Again, if I record it or not, I don't know, because I don't feel comfortable recording things around others because, you know, I don't want them to feel all out of place and stuff. But that's just the point that I'm at right now with those brakes. Should hopefully be getting it done Sunday morning. Anyways, to what I wanted to talk about though is actually answering a question that gets frequently asked to me and can get pretty annoying for many rally yard owners, because I'm not the only person to get this, and that's why I didn't get an Evo. So for those guys that are unaware, I own a 2006 Mitsubishi Lancer rally yard, not a Lancer Evolution, not a Lancer ES. I own a Lancer rally yard, which is more of the in-between. So why didn't I get an Evo? And why does this question get asked a lot? To be honest, I'm not fully sure why it gets asked a lot. I think it's most likely because with the Evo being, you know, that top tier Lancer and being so well known, that anytime somebody says I own a Lancer, they automatically think you're talking about the Evo. Unfortunately, a lot of times that's not the case. However, I will say that I do understand where people are coming from every time they hear like you own a rally yard, because every time, and it never fails, but every time they ask me, do you own an Evo? And I say no, they start asking all the questions that kind of make it somewhat relatable to an Evo. For instance, you don't own an Evo? Is it turbocharged? No. Is it all-wheel drive? No. My car is an NA front-wheel drive car. And so people are starting to be like, well, then what's so special about your Lancer? You know, it's understandable. The rally yard name isn't actually too well known. That, since, like, I've noticed that a lot, especially for first-gen rally yards, a lot of people don't know about its existence. Hell, even I didn't know about this car's existence, and I own it. Why are you fucking honking, bitch? Anyways, a lot of people don't know about the first-gen rally yards existence. All people know is the base model Lancer and then the Lancer Evo. Not many people actually know of the rally yards existence, which is actually one of the reasons why I got the car, because I thought this car is such a unicorn and so unique that it helps me stand out from the crowd. And I feel like the stuff that I do, especially for YouTube, I feel like this is pretty much me like representing the rally yard owners, you know. And I don't mean that as in I am the leading guy of rally yards. Hell no. I'm just saying that there's such a small audience for rally yards that for anybody that actually does some work on it and publicly announces all this stuff, you know, it's kind of like they're helping speak for all those other rally yards to help the car be more known. But anyways, to what I fully want to talk about, like what got me to get to the point to where I got the rally yard. Because fun fact, I had the opportunity to get an Evo. It was not gonna happen, But the opportunity was there. And what I mean by that is the owner who had this car, who sold it to me, also had an Evo 8 or 9 for sale as well. And he was actually pushing for me to just go up and get the Evo. However, this is why I had to repeatedly say no, because this guy was heavily pushing for me to get that Evo. The reason why I said no numerous times is because of money. And that's pretty much the reason for like a lot of people's decisions, is money plays a big role, especially with cars, where no matter what car you get, they're not cheap, no matter what. Yeah, there might be some like that are just a couple $1,000s. It might be cheaper compared to those that are like tens of thousands, but still thousands of dollars is not something you could just blow over. So when it came to buying the car, I had a budget, a max budget. Mom and I, our max budget was pretty much $5 grand. When we found the Ralliart, it went for $3,500. After all the taxes and stuff, $4,200, which was in that budget range. When the guy was trying to sell the Evo to me, and we've told the guy multiple times what our budget was, and then when he showed it to us, we're like, cool, this is exactly what we wanted. And then he tried getting me to get the Evo. Even after we had already signed the papers and stuff for the Ralliart, he was still saying like, I know you want that Evo though. This is the problem. The Ralliart total was $4,200. The Evo was going for 18 grand. Like I said, our budget was $5 grand max. Like max. We are not pushing like anywhere past that. Maybe like a couple hundred for like understandable reasons, but anything with a base price of over that, hell no. And this guy was trying to push an 18 grand car to people whose budget was $5 grand. And I'm pretty sure after all that taxes and stuff is done with, the car would have been going for pretty much 4 times what our initial budget was. That is the biggest reason why I did not get the Evo. There are other reasons, but the biggest reason is I could not afford it. And yes, the ongoing joke for like pretty much anybody who doesn't own an Evo but owns a Lancer is, you know, it's just the poor man's Evo, and or maybe not the poor man's Evo, but it's pretty much those who get those cars are just people who just can't afford Evos, and then they're gonna try their hardest to build it up to be identical to Evos. Unfortunately, that's just the sad reputation that all non-Evo Lancers get, but whatever, it's just something you gotta deal with, especially since that's kind of like the ongoing thing with almost all brands. Like anybody who owns a Civic, if it's not an SI, it's just like, oh, you're just a man who just couldn't afford an SI. Or even like supercar level, the ongoing thing with like the Aventador and the Huracan is the Huracan is just a poor man's Aventador. Like the fact that you're even having the balls to rip on Lamborghini owners is like mind-blowing. But the biggest reason why I couldn't get an Evo and chose not to get an Evo was because financially there was no way. Financially it was just impossible. But to be honest, I still enjoy my Ralliart. Do I wish it was an Evo? Of course. Anybody wishes that their car was the more higher end version. But does that mean that I hate what I have? No, I actually really enjoy this, and I think it is a great car for daily usage. And that's also like another reason why I got the car, because especially at my age, I really don't need or should fully be trusted initially to own something as powerful as an Evo. Yes, I can probably take care of it and be mindful with it, but it's probably not the best decision to make. Maybe when I'm a bit more mature and understandable of the road, sure, but you always gotta start people off small. You don't want to just throw them into a monster. So It's another reason why I got the Lancer. And to be honest, I've always wanted to own one. I've always, when it went to going for my first car, the two cars that I had in mind were a Scion TC. If I was able to get a coupe, I wanted a Scion TC. But if I couldn't get a coupe and went sedan, I wanted a Lancer. I didn't want, or I would have been okay with getting like a Honda or something, but my main two things were, if I could get a coupe, I wanted a Scion TC, and if I had to get a sedan, I wanted a Lancer. So when it came to looking for my third car, which this is my third car, the first thing that I was thinking was, all right, I want to get a Lancer, because this might be the only other chance I can get to actually get a Lancer, because after I get whatever the next car would have been, I would already have the plan to just keep it for as long as I can, which is what my plans are for the rally yard. Even if in the future I do get an Evo, I want this rally yard to still be mine, and I'm just going to improve it to the point to where it's just a track monster, and the Evo becomes my daily race car. So that's pretty much what's going on. And again, I don't hate the fact that I have an Evo, and I feel like people should just respect that, because a lot of times when people realize that, oh, he doesn't have an Evo, they're constantly throwing out questions as to, why don't you have an Evo? Why didn't you get an Evo? You should have done this, and you're going to regret your decision in getting something lesser. No, respect what others get. If they chose to get that, there's most likely a legitimate reason why they decided to get that model and not the more higher end expensive model. So that's just something people just gotta be respectful of. I love my purchase. I love this car. I still love modding it. Even though it's nothing big, I still really enjoy this car. I think it looks beautiful. It's unique, since many people don't know of especially the first gen rally yard's existence. So I think it's cool to stand out from the crowd and not just take the same path that everyone else is pretty much going for. So that's pretty much everything. This was just like a little ramble. I don't want to call it a rant or like a full-on rant. It's just, you know, me just wanting to talk, and also because I'm still pretty inactive, but I'm gonna try to stop that. I'm gonna try to be more active come next week. And when it comes to the mods, well, like I already said, the brakes, hopefully Sunday morning when I go to my uncle and we knock this shit out of the park, hopefully that's when it gets installed. My next mod, however, and I did a talk about this before, but I think I've decided that my next mod could possibly be rear sway bars. And it's to the point to where I can literally just buy this right now and not have to financially be worried, at least fully. But I'm gonna just wait till I get paid from the job that I'm actually going to right now, which is gonna be on like Monday or Tuesday. I should be getting that paycheck. So once I get that, I'm gonna buy my rear sway bar, because I also hear that this is also good for like doing research and stuff. But I also hear that like for front wheel drive cars, if you want to reduce your understeer, get rear sway bars. Don't get front sway bars. It's better to get rear sway bars. So the fact that they're also pretty affordable, that's most likely gonna be my next purchase, hopefully very, very soon. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment on what you think on the rally yards. Do you think I made a bad decision? Do you think I should have gone with something else? I did want to get an Altezza, the IS 300s. I almost had the chance to get one because I did see one on sale. Unfortunately, it was too bidden up to where my mom was just like, no, we're not going to get that for you. But I did want to get an IS 300 as well. But as you can tell, I got the Lancer. And again, I'm not regretting it. Still to this day, and it's almost been a year since I've owned this car, I still love it to death. It still puts many smiles on my face. Even if I did have it completely stock, it would still put many smiles on my face, and that's all that matters. So, hope you enjoyed the video. So next time, this has been your boy Taking Heat, and I'm out. Peace.
Make the ground shake.